Well, hello, this is Brian Lewis. Today we're going to be talking about interaction costs. What are interaction costs? Well, it's not something you buy with cash or credit card, and it's not even a web design or marketing cost. Instead, interaction costs are what your web visitors are paying in terms of their effort every time they visit your website. And since costs are generally not a desirable thing, we want to try to minimize those costs or the interaction costs. So when a visitor lands on your website, there's three different types of interaction costs that they're going to be incurring, or three different types of effort that you're going to be asking your web visitors to incur. The first one is cognitive, next would be visual, and then the last one is physical. Let's talk about each of these three in detail. So the first interaction cost, cognitive, is asking your visitors to have to think, to use their brain. Now, visitors typically have a lot of things going on, and they're looking for the simplest way to accomplish their means. And their means may be research, it may be buying a product, maybe filling out a form, but they're looking for the easiest path to that. So we want to reduce the cognitive effort on visitors by making the visit experience as simple as possible. And the one way we can do that, or various ways we can do that, is to follow a clear and logical architecture, clear messaging, and a very strong information set. And what information set means is that think of when animals are hunting in the wild and they're looking for the scent of their prey. Well, web visitors are doing something similar. Is when they land on your site, they're looking for an information set that's going to tell them what that page is about and what path they should go down to find the information they need. So those are all the ways that we want to think about how we can reduce the interaction cost, the cognitive interaction cost. Okay, second interaction cost would then be the visual interaction cost. And visual interaction cost is how much we're asking our visitors to process with their eyes. And when you think about it, if you've been on a site that has lots of bright colors, lots of bright contrast, lots of varied imagery, lots of motion, you'll probably sense that your eyes started to get fatigued after a while. And so what we want to make sure we're doing is that we're not creating what I would call the Las Vegas Boulevard effect at midnight, where there's so many lights that are flashing, creating that visual interaction cost. We want to make sure that we're strategically using colors and contrast, imagery and motion to help guide the visitor, and to actually use those elements when it really does communicate more about your site, not strictly just for decoration purposes. The third interaction cost is physical interaction cost, and that relates to your visitors having to move their mouse, having to click, having to type, and having to navigate back and forth to pages. Again, this is something we want to minimize because visitors are only willing to put out so much of any of these three interaction costs before they're likely to leave the site. So when it comes to thinking about physical interaction costs, what can you do that can reduce the effort of visitors needing to scroll, needing to move their mouse, needing to type, and also jump back and forth on pages? As you think about your website, think about it in terms of these interaction costs that you're asking your visitors and the effort that you're asking your visitors to expend on the site, and look at it with a critical eye. Are there any ways that you can reduce either the cognitive effort, the visual effort, or the physical effort? All right, thanks much.